Do you ever look at your router bits and wish you had more options? I'm talking about your profile bits, the one you use to decorate the edge of a workpiece or to make small moldings. The most common are the OGs in several different variations. These come in most bit sets and they look nice enough, but over time you may just grow tired of using the same few profiles over and over again. Or you may feel like the profiles that you have don't fit the style of the project you're working on. The thing is, you don't have to be limited by the profiles in your set. You can make almost any profile you want, from a simple OG variation to a complex crown molding with just a few common bits. This is because all molding profiles are little more than a collection of coves, beads, and flats, or fillets. All those fancy moldings that you see on the old period furniture were originally cut one cove, bead, or fillet at a time using hand planes. By combining just a few basic shapes in these planes, you could make any molding that you could draw. Well, today's woodworkers don't usually use molding planes to make their profiles. Instead, they use the modern day equivalent, router bits that cut similar shapes. But the principle's the same. You can combine basic router bits to make almost any molding profile you can imagine. In a minute, I'll show you how to make this large, complex molding with just 4 common bits. But let's start a little bit smaller. An OG is simply a bead, which is cut with a roundover bit, next to a cove, which is cut with a core box bit. If you leave a little flat spot in between the cove and the bead, you have what's called a classical OG. If you leave a flat at the top and the bottom, you have what's called an OG double fillet. You may have bits in your set that cut these common profiles in a single pass, but if you're willing to break them down into their basic shapes, and instead of cutting the profile in a single pass with a dedicated bit, you use common core box and roundover bits, you may make your own interesting variations of these profiles. Take the classical OG for example. These bits commonly feature a 5/16 inch cove and a 5/16 inch round separated by a 1/16 fillet. What if you reduce the cove to 3/16 of an inch and enlarge the round to a 1/2 inch? That would dramatically change the profile. You could do the opposite as well. Place a smaller cove over a larger round. Another option would be to keep both the cove and the round the same size, but elongate the cove by feeding the workpiece over a table-mounted core box bit, incrementally raising it through 2 or 3 extra passes. These small changes can significantly modify your profile. And don't forget, you can scale these profiles to larger moldings as well. All you need are a handful of core box, roundover, and straight bits, and you can make loads of your own profiles. To illustrate the point, I selected 3 roundover bits and 2 core box bits, and within a relatively short period of time, I was able to produce 25 different edge profiles. I'm certain that I could have come up with many more, especially if I hadn't limited myself to just 3/4 inch thick material. And if I'd used just a few more bits for my collection, the possibilities would have been nearly endless. My point is, with just a handful of bits, you can dramatically change the way your edges and moldings look. You don't have to be confined to just the few profile bits that you have in your collection. And as your collection of bits grows a little bit more, so will your ability to cut even the most complex of crown moldings. That's where things really start to pay off. This large, complex crown molding wasn't made with a giant cutter on a powerful shaper. It was cut with just 4 common router bits. You may already have them. This was possible because we created it in layers, which were then glued together to make up the final large molding. Let me show you how it was done. The first layer is 1 inch thick. I'm running it on edge over a 5/8 inch cove bit. Whenever I use bits like this, I like to take several passes, raising it a little bit at a time because they remove a lot of material. But in this case, even after the full cove is formed, I'm going to raise the bit even more, taking some more passes to elongate the shape. This is just one example of how you can use common bits in creative ways. Now I'm going to trim the cove off the larger workpiece. It's always better to run a wide board through your router table and then trim the profile off, instead of risking your fingers by running a thin piece of material through your router table. The next layer is 9/16 of an inch thick, and I'm using a 1/4 inch beading bit. You could do this in 2 passes with an 1/8 inch round over bit if that's what you have. After creating the bead, I flip the workpiece and I make another pass with a 1/2 inch core box bit. You'll notice that I'm leaving a little fillet between this cove and the bead I cut before it. These fillets or flats divide a large profile by creating shadow lines and making it more attractive to look at. The final layer is 3/4 of an inch thick, and it's created with a 1/2 inch round over bit. I've raised the bit just enough to let the shoulder cut into the edge, creating another fillet and giving me 2 visual components with 1 bit. This workpiece is going to be left wide because it'll fit on top of our cove. Now let's glue it up. I glued the components together 2 at a time, letting the glue set up before adding the next piece. This takes some extra time, but it makes it a lot easier to keep everything aligned as you apply your clamps. The key is to use the minimal amount of glue. We're not trying to make a structural joint. We just want it held together without glue squeezing out, making a mess that has to be cleaned up. Sometimes I even like to leave the front edge of all the parts dry. And I used wooden cauls to distribute the clamping pressure evenly. And here's the final result. A 3-piece built-up crown molding that looks like it was created with a giant cutter on a shaper, but as you saw, we only needed a regular router table and 4 common bits. Really, the sky is the limit when it comes to the profiles you can make with the router bits you may already have. So hopefully these lessons will help you to look at your bit collection in a whole new light. See you next time. Bitsbits.com is a small company that takes top quality white side router bits and adds their high-tech Astra coating to reduce friction, heat, and wear, perhaps doubling the life of the bit. They have a growing selection of bits for all woodworking applications, and they are the place for CNC router bits. They are really worth checking out, so give them a look at the link below this video.